All right, welcome everybody to another edition of the Florida Physique Report. I am your host, John Hansen. This is episode number 44. We are broadcasting live from the Powerhouse Gym in Tampa, Florida. And today is Thursday, October 8th. And on this week's show, we are going to have a recap of last weekend's Hurricane Bay, Typhoon Bay Championships that took place out here in Tampa, Florida. Tim Gardner did another very successful show. I think it was his 16th year doing the Hurricane Bay. So congratulations to Tim Gardner. It's been a great show for all the Tampa, Florida residents. So we are going to recap the results of that in a minute. Also on the show this week, we are going to have an interview with Samantha Mueller. And Samantha Mueller is a local bikini competitor from the South Florida region. She just started competing this year. And she just won first place in her class in the novice division of the bikini at the Ruby Championships a couple weeks ago. And she took second place in the open division. And she is getting ready for the Diana Cadu Championships in 2 more weeks. So it was interesting to talk to Samantha, who is a brand new bikini competitor. She's already got some experience behind her competing in 2 shows, and she's learned a lot. So she's looking forward to the Diana Cadu. So we're going to be talking to Samantha in a minute. Before we get to the results from the Hurricane Bay, I want to talk about what's coming up this weekend, which is a big show, the Southeastern USA. It's a national qualifier. It'll be taking place in Orlando, Florida at Olympia High School. And I was there last year. It was a very big show. They're going to have Fred Biggie Smalls out as a guest poser. And if you've ever seen Fred Smalls pose before, he's one of the most entertaining posers in the professional IFBB ranks. So that's going to be really great to see. So the promoter of the show is Chris Eady, as I said, and for more information on the show, go to southeasternusa.net. And I believe there's still tickets available, so be sure to check out that show. It's going to be a great show. I talked to a lot of people over the last couple of weeks who were the winners of the previous few contests, and they all said they're getting ready for the Southeastern, so it should be a really, really big show. All right, let's go over the results of the Hurricane Bay, which took place last Saturday at Jefferson High School in Tampa, Florida. That's also the same place where I hold my Natural Sun Coast every year, so it's familiar territory for me. Let's go over the bodybuilding first. In the Masters bodybuilding, in the over 50, Ray Clark was the winner. Ray has been a frequent competitor in the South Florida, or the Central Florida area, I should say. And he's always got a good attitude on stage, so congratulations to Ray for winning first place. Big Jeff Ward was first place in the over 40. Jeff's a big guy. They did not have an overall, so those guys were the winners in the Masters bodybuilding. Women's physique, the winner went to Michelle Williams, who was coming back from a 20-year layoff. She used to compete in women's bodybuilding 20 years ago. Joined the military, had a few kids, got married. And now she's back competing in women's physique. Congratulations to Michelle Williams. Novice bodybuilding went to Kurt Walla. Kurt had a shredded physique. He was probably the most ripped guy on stage that night. Probably a frequent competitor, but he never won a contest before, so congratulations to Kurt. Teen bodybuilding went to Christian Tavares. And then the Typhoon Bay, which is a drug-tested competition, they had 3 classes, a light, middleweight, and heavyweight. Lightweight went to Scott Goldstein, who trains right here at the Powerhouse Gym in downtown Tampa, Florida. As I mentioned before on the show, Scott, great competitor. He's got stage 4 cancer, and he continues to compete while going through chemotherapy treatment. So, great competitor, Scott Goldstein. Congratulations to him. Middleweight class was won by Hercules Collins, who just competed in his first show a couple weeks ago at the Lakeland Classic. And Hercules, very ripped physique, good stage presence. Congratulations to him. And Randy Lopez, another competitor right here from the Powerhouse Gym in downtown Tampa. He was the heavyweight winner. This is the best I've ever seen Randy look. He's done quite a few shows. He did my show in May, the Natural Sun Coast. So he's been competing all these months. He's been on his diet the whole time. And this was the leanest and the most ripped I've seen him. So congratulations, Randy. And Hercules Collins won the overall at the Typhoon Bay. And then in the Hurricane Bay bodybuilding, lightweight went to the novice winner, Kurt Walla. Middleweight went to Cody Camacho. The light heavyweight went again to Hercules Collins. And the heavyweight went to Taylor Lesh. And in the overall, it was a big showdown between Hercules Collins and Taylor Lesh. And Taylor Lesh wins the overall. Taylor was also, I believe, in the Lakeland and he only took second place there. He competed 15 pounds heavier at this contest, so major improvement over the last few months, and this was his first big win. 23 years old, so he's got a good future. He's going to take some time off and come back next year in 2016. All right, going over to the figure, in the figure masters, Lori Bailey, a frequent competitor out here in Florida. She won the over 50. She looks amazing for over 50 years old. Tamara Venditti, who did really well at the Iron Bay Classic. She wins the over 40, and Tamara is also in incredible condition. And Rachel Aronson, another really good competitor, very ripped, very lean. She won the over 30 division. In the figure novice, that went to Ashley Castleberry, competing in her very first show. Her coach is Steve Mattoni out here in Powerhouse Gym out here in Tampa. And Ashley's got a good future, another good young competitor. All right, and going into the figure open, Rachel Aronson, who was the over 30 winner, wins the short class in the open division. Ashley Castleberry wins the medium class, beats out Tamara Venditti, who got second place. And then Lori Bailey, our over 50 winner, wins the tall class in the open division. And then in the overall, Ashley Castleberry, again, competing in her very first show, wins both the open and the novice. So congratulations, Ashley. Great debut. Going on to the men's physique in the novice division, that was won by Rafael Acosta. And then in the Masters division in the men's physique, Scott Goldstein wins his first place. He wins the over 40. Congratulations to Scott. In the open division, the short class went to Isaiah Searson Jr. Medium class went to Greg McBride. And Jimmy Van Deelen wins the tall class. And then the overall, very competitive division, Greg McBride wins the overall. So congratulations to Greg. I believe he's going to the Southeastern this weekend, so we'll see him again this weekend. And then finally finished off with the bikini division. Novice went to Christina Martinez. The teen bikini went to Victoria Beach. The Masters over 40 went to Lisa Brightman. Always in great condition. Lisa's always ripped. Congratulations to her. Over 30 again went to Christina Martinez, who won the novice. And then in the open division, the short class, again, Christina Martinez wins the open short class. Ashley Schultz won the medium. And Susan Jallo wins the tall class. And then in the overall, Susan Jallo takes the overall. Congratulations to Susan. We did an interview with her and Dan Esslinger, her coach. And Susan was just in the Iron Bay and took a very close second place by 1 point. Came back improved and wins the overall. She's got a great look. And they are going to the Nationals in November in Miami. So congratulations to Susan and best wishes to her. All right, so that was it, and I also want to thank Tim Gardner because he presented me with the Dick Fudge Ambassador of Bodybuilding Award. For those of you who don't know Dick Fudge, he was a sort of a legend in the Tampa, Florida area. He had a very famous gym out here for many years. He was the husband to Georgia Miller Fudge, who, for those of you who have been around for a while and know Georgia Miller Fudge, was one of the first female bodybuilders, and I believe she was in the very first Miss Olympia back in 1980. She's still around in the area. In fact, she usually comes to watch my show, The Natural Sun Coast, every year. Dick Fudge was also the training partner, I believe, and the coach for Jim Hayslop, who was the 1968 AAU Mr. America winner, one of the best Mr. America winners ever, and he was right here from the Tampa, Florida area. So he's a real legend in the Florida bodybuilding scene, and it was an honor to get presented the Ambassador of Bodybuilding Award from Tim Gardner. He also gave me this very nice watch from Swole O'Clock. So thanks again to Tim Gardner for that. That was very nice. All right, we're going to take a break here from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to have our interview with Samantha Mueller, brand new bikini competitor who just took first place at the Ruby Championships, and she's gearing up for another try at the Diana Cadu Championships in 2 weeks. We'll be right back with the Florida Physique Report. Check out NFE All Natural Warrior Supplements, featuring pure isolate protein made with natural stevia flavor, 1 gram of sugar and no fat. NFE Trim Thermogenic Fat Burner, boosts your metabolism, suppress your appetite, build strength, develop muscle, and shed that body fat. Go to NFE.com today.
NFE stands for No Freaking Excuses.
All right, welcome back to the Florida Physique Report, and my guest this week is Samantha Mueller, who just competed in a couple shows, her very first couple shows this year in bikini. How you doing, Samantha?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome.
So you just did the Ruby, and it was only your second show, and you took first place in your class in the novice, and then second in the open. So tell us about how you got into competing. What made you decide to start competing in bikini?
Well, I just started working out seriously about a year ago. I started training, and then I started to incorporate my diet into my training this past January, and I started seeing like a lot quicker results than I was used to. And my boyfriend did actually the Diana Cadot Classic last year.
Okay.
So that was his first competition, and then so I got interested in it after watching him on stage and watching all the bikini competitors. I thought that was really cool, and like a kind of like a goal to like set myself to do.
Mm-hmm.
So this past February, I started training for the Miami Muscle Beach, which was in April.
Okay.
And I loved it. So then I decided to keep going with it and to do the Ruby a couple weeks ago.
So when you decided to do a show, tell us a little bit about your training. Like, what were you? How many days a week were your weight training? How much cardio did you have to do?
I had to tighten up like a significant amount to get stage ready. I did an 8-week prep, and I had a lot of muscle toning already. Just kind of had to lose a little bit of fat, but I did 6 days of weight training and then 4 days of cardio on top of that. And I also was taking a swim class, so I would do 2 days of swimming as well, which actually I thought helped a lot.
Okay.
And I didn't even realize, yeah.
Were you an athlete before, Samantha?
I played basketball in high school for 4 years. And I also did karate since I was in kindergarten for 10 years. So actually a second-degree black belt.
Really? Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then how was the diet the first time? Because, you know, you'd never really done a diet like this, right?
Yeah, it was a lot more difficult in the beginning than I thought. The first 2 weeks, I wouldn't say I was as 100% with it. I was more like 80% to get used to it. And then I started being super strict with myself for the last 6 weeks. And I saw like a change in like a week, like night and day difference. So I just saw how quickly, by disciplining myself, the results came like immediately. So that really helped with me the most.
Yeah. For those
like sticking exactly to what I was supposed to be eating.
Okay. For those that have never dieted before, what kind of diet was it? Was it, you know, I'm assuming like 6 meals a day, and then was it low carbs or was it really strict?
It was 6 meals a day. It was low carbs, but enough to keep me full. I would eat every 2.5 hours, and my meals were portioned from about 4 ounces of protein and then a little carbs and healthy fats as well.
Okay.
Each meal had a little bit of both, but then towards my last 2 meals, they didn't have any carbs in them as it got closer to bedtime.
Okay.
So most of my carbs were consumed in the morning and before, but then after that, not so many.
Okay. So you went in your first show, the Miami Muscle, and you got 5th place. So what was that experience like going in your first show?
That was cool. I was nervous. I wanted to see how I would feel on stage. That was like my biggest concern. Because I knew like I gave it my all during the prep, and I knew my routine. I just didn't know like if I would get like cold feet on stage. Like I didn't know how I would feel being up there. Yeah. And I've always heard that like you either love it or you hate it, and I loved it.
Okay.
So I was really happy that I felt comfortable on stage because now the last one I just did, I was like totally a lot more confident, and especially since I placed really well, now I just can only see myself getting better. So
after that Miami Muscle, did you talk to the judges and get their feedback on what you needed to do?
I did. I emailed all the judges, and they told me the little things I needed to work on, which was my posterior delts. They said I needed to get a little more muscle mass there, my glutes, and a little bit of my stage presence. So I worked really hard on building my deltoids and posing with Rich Alvarez that I just started doing recently.
So you just started working with Rich on the posing?
Yeah, it was, and it's funny because the Ruby, I didn't even expect to be prepping for that. I've been prepping for the Diana this whole time, and then I met up with him on the Wednesday before the Ruby, and he tweaked my routine, and then he's like, "You should just do the Ruby," and I'm like, "Really? Like, you think I'm ready?" And then I ended up placing first and novice and second, and I was like in total shock because I thought that was it was like 4 days before. Like normally you do like the peak week, and then so it was like unbelievable. Yeah.
And that was
Rich is great. He's really he knows like exactly the little things that like make your waist that much smaller. Everything kind of pops. So
yeah, and that's a huge part of it, right? The posing, because you're only showing 2 positions.
Yeah, and he also like stressed you can even, let's say you even aren't in as great of shape as your competitor, but you pose a lot better, you can still come out on top. So
yeah, it's all you display to the judges, right?
Yeah, definitely. And how how you walk and stuff, how natural looking.
Was the Ruby a lot bigger than the Miami Muscle?
Yes, the Miami Muscle was only 7 girls in my class, and the Ruby, I believe there was 13. So that was a big difference. And I thought that all the girls, they were in really good shape. So it was a little more competitive, which made me feel more accomplished afterwards.
Okay. So now you took first place at the Ruby, so you can't do the novice anymore, right? You just have to do the open.
I can, because I didn't place an overall.
Oh, okay. You didn't win the overall.
So I'm going to do the novice again for the Diana. But you don't, you can play, you can do the novice up until you win overall, and then you can't do novice anymore. Okay. So I'm going to do it till I can't do it anymore.
Right. So how do you feel you're looking now compared to the Ruby?
Really good. I've been really strict with myself, because if I thought, okay, I did that well just going into it 4 days before, if I really give it everything, and a month later I should look twice as good, I would hope. So I've been doing a lot of cardio just to kind of tighten up my body, but I've been super strict with my diet, and I've seen my abs are popping a lot more now than they were before. And I've been trying to gain more muscle, because when I deplete my water, you lose a lot of your muscle, because your muscles are 70% water. So, the bigger I can get right now, then I'll look more toned when it comes to competition.
Now, you told me that you're studying exercise science at FAU out there in Boca, and so you're doing your own prep. You don't even need a prep coach, right?
Yeah, all my classes, I'm learning all the different equations to find out the calories you're supposed to consume, the portioning, how to tweak your calories to lose weight and gain weight. And I kind of was testing myself as well to see how, and I know my body a lot better than I used to. Yeah. So if I eat certain things, I can tell how my body consumes it, and it changes right away. You can feel it right away. You may not see it, but you can feel the differences. So I've been tweaking my diet to do what I think will help. Not if I'm hungry before a workout, but I'm not supposed to eat that. I'm going to eat something, because I'd rather have a killer workout than be tired during my workout. Yeah. So I wrote my own diet, and it's been working really well so far. So, and I graduate next summer. So,
okay.
It's been helping a lot.
That's important, because a lot of people today, a lot of the competitors I talk to, they don't know anything about nutrition or training, and then right away for their very first show, they're starting off with a coach. So they never really get a chance to learn their body. And I remember when I was training back in the old days, in the 80s, we didn't even have personal trainers or coaches. So we just had to learn on our own. But it was good in a way because even though you may not get it right for a while, you were experimenting with yourself and figuring out what works and what doesn't, and then you get to know your body, like you said, you know.
That's what I'm trying to do, because even if one coach tells you one thing and someone tells you another, like there's so many different ways to go about it.
Yeah.
Everyone's body is different. So it may work for one person and may not work for the other. And so I kind of like I know what works for me. Now I'm trying to like do minor things to see what works better.
Yeah.
So, and I'm taking, like, I already took the nutrition class and like exercise physiology and like all these other ones. So yeah, I'm actually writing diet plans for other people as well. Yeah. Not prep ones, but just like regular diet plans. Because a lot of my friends have like seen my results like so quickly and seen it in real life compared to like maybe social media. Like, you know, they know that it's working. So.
Yeah, exactly. No filters, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just great. I don't know. I love it.
Well, that's good though, because nobody knows your body like you do, and like you said, you can feel the food working on you when you're eating it, so you can experiment and see what works and what doesn't. You know. Yeah,
I know like what I can, limit myself to. Maybe, up my portions or not. Like I know it works. So.
Right. So after this show, are you going to do the nationals if you're qualified?
Yeah, I am qualified. So, Rich actually told me today. He's like, "Are you prepping for it?" I'm like, "I don't know." Like, and but I think I might. I really do. Just to see. I'm gonna see how this one goes. But I'm already qualified. But it is conveniently 1 week before Thanksgiving. Yeah. So I think I might do it.
And it's in South Florida, so.
Yeah, it's in Miami, so might as well. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Probably.
So you'll graduate next year then from school?
Yeah, next August I graduate.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us on the Florida Physique Report. It sounds like you're off to a good start, and we wish you the best of luck at the Diana Cadu next weekend, or no, 2 weekends from now, on the 24th. And then hopefully you'll do really well there and maybe go to the Nationals.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Samantha. We'll see you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Florida Physique Report. We will be back next week with results from the Southeastern USA, which is going to be a big show out here in Orlando. So we will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.